Hi! We're in the first week of January here on the homestead, and while all of those fabulous memes are circulating around on Facebook, warning us gardeners to keep our hands away from our seed collections and don't dare to venture into planting just yet, we actually have to. And that's because we live in the beautiful and glorious inland Northwest. It is cold here, and our season is very short. Our last frost date, projected estimated average, is June 8th, and the first frost date is September 8th. It's a very small window to get everything we need in.
Very.
And this year, the pressure is on because we've decided to take on a very, very small CSA.
Yes, we did.
What's a CSA, you ask? A CSA is community supported agriculture. And typically what that means is that as a customer, you would give your local farmer a specific dollar amount, and then the farmer would provide you with a share of the crop. We're not exactly doing that. What we've decided to do is just to ask a few acquaintances if they would help support us with a portion of what we would typically charge for a crate that we would deliver on a weekly basis, and provide us with just very honest feedback on how we're doing, do they like the varieties, etc., and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is where we're at, and what that means is we need to get going.
Yeah, we started some already. What do you concentrate on? You said basils, hot peppers.
Yes, hot peppers are the number one thing that we need to get done because they do take such a long time. And I don't think we've ever had a wonderful harvest of hot peppers.
No.
I've actually been pretty cautious about planting hot peppers just because we have little ones and I want them to feel comfortable with picking whatever they want in the garden. But this year we're going to do some fermented hot sauce on top of the CSA. So I've planted about 45 plants. I'm not sure how many varieties, about 10 varieties or so. I've got a few, I'm not sure how many basil plants, but everything from lime basil, citrus basil, the beautiful cardinal basil from Baker Creek I'm very excited about. I got nowhere with it last year. Thai basil, opal basil. I pretty much have all the basils. Did I say cinnamon basil?
I think so.
Anyway, celeriac, and all of our sweet peppers. We have about 45 sweet peppers.
That's celeriac, for those of you who don't know.
Okay.
And the celeriac, you have to, if you live in a cold climate, you have to start it pretty darn early, because ours never reached maturity.
Yeah, well, we only tried last year for the first time.
Yeah.
And yes, it didn't even come close to
Well,
maturity.
how would you eat celeriac?
It is a tuber type deal like that one. So a root, right? A root vegetable, and has somewhat of a celery flavor.
Makes
so
sense.
You're going to use it like you're going to use the rest of your, I mean, I don't have any specific recipes. I'm definitely going to research, but you know, the first thing I think of is roasting.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's added to lots of soups and stews because of the celery flavor. And maybe some people like to venture into the land of deep frying. I don't know. But I would like to give it a shot. I also tried some, it's called broccoli rapini, basically broccoli rabe, which is not going to be making a big flowering head, so I feel like we have more of a chance in being successful.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to set everything on these wire shelves. We have our T5 bulbs that we use to supplement the light, and we had decent success with it last year.
Yes, we did.
But we have to get the hoop house up early, obviously, with now the responsibility of ensuring we fill the CSA boxes. We need to get the hoop house up so we can start moving stuff out there earlier and not run the risk of losing our entire crop. But these work pretty well, and so we're probably going to have a house full of those again before the winter's done.
So true, and that's not even counting the flowers.
Yes,
will be
lots of
arriving.
flowers. Yeah, so that we're going to add cut flowers, work on practicing that, kind of fine tuning that process, and then sorry, our kids, and then we're going to have we raise pastured poultry, so we're going to do a bird maybe once every fourth basket or something like that.
Right.
And then what else? Obviously the veggies that we grow.
Right, microgreens.
Eggs. We'll do the eggs too. So it'll be high value, and we're just looking for the feedback and the practice.
Right.
Really.
We're not sure if having such a variety of things is what people are looking for, or if people like just more specific things. You know, we just want a flower, CSA, we just want veggies, eggs, and so on and so forth. And then even when you get into just veggies, it's maybe you don't like hot peppers, or and how specific does it really have to get to make a customer happy? And this is the kind of information that we're trying to gather.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So what else should we say? I have no idea.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to practice is, because you have this 10-week period or whatever you're doing the CSA, is just keeping track of succession planting. Mm-hmm. Making sure that you can, as the seasons change, temperatures change, you're making those allotments so you have, consistent produce throughout the summer into the end of September, hopefully. Yeah. So one of the biggest parts of doing the CSA also is to really practice the succession planning. So basically ensuring that you're staggering the plantings of all the produce you plan to put in the box throughout this 10-week period, which is roughly what we'll probably do. So, do we need to grow this amount every 2 weeks, or how are we going to position that? Because obviously you're also going to have different crops, because different crops thrive at different times of the year, but just managing the grow periods with the temperature outside, and just ensuring that week after week, you can get those orders filled. So that's going to be something we haven't really done in the past. We've just kind of planted stuff that we felt like planting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's really all I know how to do, which just kind of, is another point we should touch upon here, is that this will be our first year doing anything like this, where we have some pressure on us.
Mm-hmm.
We have to make sure that we're providing what it is that we're saying that we're going to provide. And so that's also why we're, offering this as a no risk situation to our customers.
Right.
We would either provide our customers with a box of vegetables and fruit and chicken or whatever, or we would not charge.
Right.
Because
there's no shared loss
Right.
like there is in a typical CSA.
No, this is a learning year where we are going to have to learn how to properly succession plant.
And see if we enjoy the process.
Right.
Because there's no guarantee that if it works for our family, something we want to be expanding on the following year, or whether we want to go down a different avenue like farmers markets or something like that.
The biggest thing for us is that we're making sure that we're filling a need within our community. And at this point, we're not even 100% sure if there is a need here, or is the market completely saturated. So we will find out this summer. It should be interesting.
Yeah, and which area works best for us in terms of, like, if we do go to market. Because we have a few different, like, micro communities around here, none of which are particularly close. So we might have to try out this market and try out that market and kind of get a feel for who's more receptive to the farmers markets in general, who actually goes there to buy some produce, or they just go in there to, like, as entertainment on a Saturday, for example, and they're buying like a wooden tchotchke or something. So
Right. Yeah.
it's just all things you don't know until you know them, and the only way to do that is to do it. So it's also going to help us fast forward some projects, because we have so much going on in the house and other parts of the property. It's going to require us dialing in some things on the garden, kind of pushing those to the front of the line as far as projects go, and just we got to get those executed and done in order to be successful. So I think for the property it'll be a benefit. But
Definitely. I think the most important part of this for us is really determining, is this something that we can personally sustain as a family with our health issues? Certainly we need to grow our own vegetables and
Yeah.
as many fruits as we can, and raise our own meat. We have to do these things for our own health, for our family.
Yeah.
But can we sustain providing for other people, or do we need to find a different way to be of service to our community? And I feel in my heart that, this is the right avenue for us, but I think we really need to carve out what that looks like.
Yeah. No, there's always an initial plan, and then it needs to be adjusted. So
Yeah.
we shall see. The process pretty much starts now. She's already started with some planning, and now we have a lot of planning to do. We have to go over garden plan, like where, especially for the flowers, where are things going to go, how much cow manure and compost do we need, just all those details that we still have to work on. So it'll be...
We started last year,
Mm-hmm.
right? We started in the fall knowing that our roads aren't the best and we needed to get some manure in before we wanted the garden to be as ready to go as possible, as we felt like we could get it in our current condition last year.
Yeah.
So we did bring in some things. We did bring in some soil. We brought in some mulch. We brought in some manure. So now it's just a matter of figuring out where we're going to rough out some new areas and how much more of those things do we need.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to cover?
No.
Pretty much covers it for this video, and we'll update you guys on the journey of figuring this thing out.
I'm sure we'll have lots of mistakes in our new adventure here,
Oh,
but
I'm sure. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't learn without the mistakes. So.
yeah.
All right, well, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.
Take
Bye.
care.